Transport Fever 2, where you create a monopoly in the transport industry, controlling all the planes, boats, trucks, trains, and everything in between. So this is Transport Fever 2 for you. And I think the main question here today is if it's worth buying Transport Fever 2 in 2020. And I'll start with the answer for that because that's why you're here. So for me, the answer is absolutely yes. And I don't know if you're new to my channel or not, but if you are, I do have a series that I do on Transport Fever as well, a Let's Play series. And this has been quite fun to be doing. I'm on the second season or on the second map, and I'm having a lot of fun with this game. So I think I now have around like 100 hours in the game, and that is still a lot to do, that is still a lot to see, and that is just like a really nice and balanced game. So the answer for if it's worth buying it in 2020 is a positive yes for me, and I'll now dive into some more details and explain why I think it is what I think it is. So let's talk first of all about the graphics of the game. As you can see, I don't think there is too much to it. They didn't overdo the whoops, that plane didn't land there. So they didn't do a lot on the graphics itself, although I think looks pretty nice and very well done and polished. So I don't think this is a major deal, or to be honest, I quite like it. I think there are a few things where they could have improved a little bit, which is on the lands, and especially when you're terraforming these shapes here. They're too squared and they look a little bit weird, but other than that, I think this is quite nice. And one of the things that I really enjoy here, and this links to a little bit to the graphics, are the models that they use in the game. So every single model is really high detail. So as you can see, this boat here, or ship, it's a very old ship. If we go into the details, we can see that its condition is very bad. I can see that it's all rusty, and well, it has 242 years. No wonder that it's bad. But the details in every single model in the game are pretty nice. So this is one of the planes. This is a pretty old plane as well. As you can see, it's very rusty. So I don't know if it's safe to use that plane anymore, but it's there, it's working, and I quite like that, looking pretty old as well. And in here we have this train with, I think it's a GE60 or something like that, carrying some oil. This is a high-speed train as well, and as you can see, they're all different, they look different. This one is in better condition and it looks quite nice as well. You do have trucks, you have trams, you have buses. Here are examples: tram, bus. You have the cars on the streets, people walking around, and everything is so detailed. Like if you look at those buildings, although they're the same, they have some things that are a little bit different, which adds a lot of contrast in the city. Although like they have a specific style, this is one of the trucks, by the way. They look all different, and this is quite nice, to be honest. I really enjoy that. And yeah, you also have like oh, that's another boat, just passenger boat, just going around. So this is pretty cool. I think it's one of the games where if you like transportation, if you like trains, I do recommend it. I think this is fantastic. There are so many options and models and all that stuff. As you can see here, you have diesel locomotives, you have electric ones, you have steam one, although we don't have steam anymore because it's 2,489 at this point. And you have different wagons as well for passenger and cargo. There are quite a few there. The same goes for vehicles, so passenger vehicles, buses mainly, and cargo trucks, so they're all there. And trams, let's take a look at the trams, a few options there as well. And you have like a lot of different options there, so that's really good. Now, one of the things that call my attention here is actually the UI of the game. I think everything is so well placed that you don't even need a tutorial, although it has a tutorial. You don't need a tutorial to get up and running and to understand what everything does. So they start with these buttons at the bottom here. So obviously road vehicles, rail, that is a train, ship, or water and air, and landscaping. So both those things, and a few options for statistics here, so you can see a lot more information there. And this is, I think this works quite well, especially when you are looking at your vehicles. You have a lot of different options to reach the same screens, and it helps you a lot when you're doing something and you, for example, you have this truck here and you want to manage all the trucks in this line because they all look old. By the way, you can zoom in and out in the screen as well, or go search the truck in there. So as you can see, it's a very old truck. So if you want to manage all the trucks on the line, you just manage that vehicle. It comes pre-selected, and you select everything here and you manage. You can replace, you can duplicate, you can sell, you can change the color, you can do a lot of things here. Or you can even set maintenance so they don't stay in very bad condition and they get washed out, painted, and all they'll be maintained properly. So that's what I like in the UI, and you have like so many options. And for example, buying vehicles, you can change that for and filter by cargo, passenger, the same thing for planes, the same thing for ships. You can search for a specific vehicle here if you don't know if you know that name, and that's all like very good. The statistics as well, you just click on the buttons and you have like what this is. It's pretty easy to understand as well, and I think this like makes a lot of difference because it makes you focus on the game and not actually on the how do I do that, you know? And this gives you a lot more time to actually play and enjoy the game. So next up would be replayability, and that means the number of times you can play the game and you feel that the game is completely different or there is still some value to it. And in my opinion, this is one of those games where every time you load a new game, everything is completely different. There are different challenges, different things to do, and different ways to play the game as well. So as you can see, this is the map that we are currently using. The size of this map is large, and you have some bodies of water around it, but you have like the main land in here, you have some more water on the side there. So I can use some ships in this area. I can make some bridges if I want to. I could make a smaller bridge in there using that small island in here. And there are a few ways that you can do. You can use airports, or you don't need to use airports. You can use mostly trains, or you can use trucks, and you define how you want to play yourself. So every time you load a game, the terrain is completely different, unless you put down the specific code for that specific combination that you have. And they will generate these cities, the landscape, the water, the mountains, all that stuff will be generated when you start a new game. So, and you can keep it refreshing until you see something that you like and want to play. But what I like is just like, I get what they give me and I'll play it and see what I can do with what I'm given. So I like the challenge and I don't look for the easiest thing, although I'm not looking for the hardest one as well. But I think it's every time I play this, it's fun. So again, if you want to take a look, you can check out my newest Let's Play series on Transport Fever 2. Just check the link on the corner of the screen, and I hope you enjoyed that as well. So in this game, you have two basic modes. One is the campaign. So the campaign tells you the story of transportation, actually the history of transportation, and along with that they tell you all the game mechanics. So everything from how to set up a line, how to change an airport or a railway station, all that stuff you can learn in the tutorial. So you have very specific tasks that tell you how to do that, and you have some loose tasks that are just fun if you want to do, but you can skip those. So, and you have the sandbox mode, which is this one that we are in at the moment, where you do whatever you want, however you want, and just take your time and do things the way you like to do that. So that's basically the sandbox mode, and the ultimate goal is to get some money, which I think we are successful in this game. So this was my first Let's Play series, and we have 45 billion in there, and I think this was successful. But I think the main point here is to actually fine-tune your lines to make sure that you get things the way you want to get it. So I think that's what makes the game most enjoyable for me. And actually creating those lines, especially the terrain lines, I quite enjoy that. And working with the terrain and working with the cities, I think that's pretty nice. So now, one other thing that we have to say about this is the map size. I mentioned that this is a large map. So you have small, you have medium, and you have large. But you can also unlock kind of a secret mode, which is a megalomaniac map, which I'm playing in this new series as well. So that is huge. That's huge. Like, think this map that you can see here. I think like 4 times that, more or less. It's what it is. Maybe a little bit bigger even. So like, it's ridiculous big, and that's quite fun because you have so much to do. You have so many challenges, and you can do a lot of things in different ways there, and you can try different things as well. I'm just trying to go with trucks only at the beginning. I want to have an achievement for trucks only, and I already have that, but I'll keep doing that for a while just to have fun, and then we'll start adding more types of transportation in there. But yeah, that's like fantastic. You have options, so it's all good. Now, the last point here that I want to talk about is actually mods. As in all games that I do review, I talk a little bit about the mods that we have available, and Transport Fever is actually one of those games where you have mods available and you have quite a good number of mods available in that sense. So you have plenty of different vehicles, you have more trains, you have more wagons, you have more ships, you have more planes, you have more trucks, buses, and trams. So basically, you have more of every single means of transportation that you can have in the game. You also have like different ways to work with the lines, different resources in the map, and I think this expands the game so much. And you have different buildings as well. That's another thing. Just expand the game so much that again, it's really hard to get bored. I'll be honest. It's it's a very enjoyable game. Even just watching like them coming and going, as you can see here, all those passengers going on that boat ride, which is actually full. We have 20 passengers in the boat. So this has been like very enjoyable, and again, is it worth buying it? It definitely is. So with that out of the way, I would like to ask you, if you did enjoy this review, to leave a like, and if you haven't already, please do check my other videos, maybe other reviews, and my Let's Play series on Transport Fever and other games as well. And consider subscribing if you enjoyed what you're seeing. I'll really appreciate having you with us. So thanks again, and I'll see you around. Bye bye.